Well, welcome everyone to MLB Tonight, presented by Mattress Firm in Studio 3. It's Greg Amsing and my guy Jake Peavy. This is my first rodeo with this just mano-a-mano two-guy MLB Tonight thing. This is fun, man. I like it. We can kind of carve out our own real estate. Like, can I do a Greg's List? Is that cool?
You better believe
later
it.
in the show? All right, I'll think of something. What is there a topic that you want to talk about later in the show? Like,
I'm into teammates. I'm into finding out what kind of teammates you are.
You want to do a whole thing on that?
Absolutely.
See, this is what I like, is we're collaborating. We're being good teammates, right?
do.
I love that. Let's come a little later. But right now, let's begin the show really just kind of putting a bow on what was an unforgettable awards week on MLB Network. This is a big night, kick-starting Awards Week on MLB Network.
American League Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year winner is Luis Gil.
It means so much to me. It's incredible. So happy and excited about this.
National League Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year winner is Paul Skeens.
It's cool. I've been super lucky to experience all the things that I have, so just going to try to continue to stay present and enjoy the ride.
AL Manager of the Year award, Mr. Stephen Vogt.
The players did this. If the players don't do what they're capable of, this wouldn't be possible.
Mr. Pat Murphy, congratulations, brother.
To the coaching staff, they all made me look good, but nobody more than the players.
The NL Cy Young Award winner goes to Chris Sale.
I just can't express how thankful I am for everybody that stuck by me.
Tarik Skubal is my Cy Young Award winner.
All the hard work, all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, moments like this make it extremely worth it.
Most valuable player goes to my teammate, Shohei Ohtani.
I'm just taking, I think this MVP is, I'm just representing the Dodgers. It was a complete team effort. I wouldn't have been able to receive this award if it weren't for my teammates.
American League Most Valuable Player is Aaron Judge.
It means a lot. Just the constant support from my teammates, the fans in New York, just everybody to help me get to this spot.
It is an absolute honor to take part in all of these shows. I've been doing it for over 10 years now as the host of the BBWA Awards Week. And you see some true emotion, not just from the award winners, but also from my colleagues that I get to be on television with. And Jake Peavy was able to co-host the Cy Young Awards show with me. And you and Ryan Dempster did a terrific job. But I could tell, as we talk about some of our favorite moments of Awards Week, it meant something to you to see a former teammate like Chris Sale have that kind of moment.
Well, you're exactly right. What an honor it was to be on a show and to be a small part of the night. But we're not supposed to play favorites, and I don't. I try to give everybody an honest opinion. But you're talking about being there. When this kid got to the big leagues, I was there and supposed to be a team leader, and he wanted to be a starting pitcher. I was there in 2011 when he's ready to fight Kenny and Ozzie over being a starter. I'm not a bullpen guy. I'm a starter. I remember that, and then watching him develop, just watching him, being a young dad, have kids that you see there. In 2012, we've been together for a couple years now. I get to go to an all-star game together. Talking to Joe Mauer and knowing what the opposition thought about Chris Sale, you knew he was ultra special. Then to get to call him and say, buddy, you're going to Boston. What a place. That's where I left Chicago and went. I won a World Series. He stands on the mound, delivers that. And then, look, this is the Hall of Fame candidacy. He needed that Cy Young. You're a champion. You're a Cy Young. You're going to put up incredible numbers. It was an emotional time.
Yeah.
And look, we talk about teammates. Don't know of anybody who wouldn't tell you that Chris Sale is up there as high as anybody.
We're getting to a point now at MLB Network. We started in 2009 that we've encapsulated the entire career of certain guys. And up until this point, we have for Chris Sale. In 2010, he was a first-round pick out of Florida Gulf Coast. Everyone was talking about his mechanics, right? Peter Gamm was like, no, I think this guy is unique if you use him as a weapon out of the bullpen or a starter. He got called up to the big leagues in just a couple months after he was drafted. Then this iconic moment the night he was traded. This was arguably the biggest trade in the MLB Network era up until this point in 2016, when the Red Sox just emptied out their farm system for him. And then here he is at the age of 35, winning that first Cy Young. And he had been in the mix for a 6-year stretch where he was getting Cy Young votes. And then he finally grabs it. As you see, within his 14 seasons in the big leagues, he now has a Cy Young, a pitching triple crown, 8 All-Stars. Look at his career K/9. It's over 11 for his career. I mean, this could have put him over the top. It really could have. Into Cooperstown.
You're exactly right. This is something he needed on that mantle to really make the case, and he needs a couple more years, that 3,000 strikeout number. But it was as special as anything I was a part of this week, but all of it. You're watching these guys to get to be named the best of the best in this league. When you're talking about everybody as a stud, these guys separating, and you see what it means to them.
You asked a great question to Paul Skeens. You were 8 years old when Chris Sale broke into the big leagues, and here he is, a Cy Young finalist next to him. I felt like we were witnessing true history when Paul Skeens won Rookie of the Year. And I think we just watched, now that it's completely over, awards week is over, the greatest #1 overall pick rookie season in baseball history. This is when he won the Rookie of the Year. But this is a guy that was drafted #1 overall out of LSU, considered the greatest pitching prospect since Steven Strasburg. And Steven Strasburg broke in big and punched out 14, and everyone couldn't get enough of Steven Strasburg. He was even better than Strasburg. So good, he started the All-Star game. The #1 overall pick, and then all MLB there in Las Vegas, one of the top 5 pitchers in baseball, and then Rookie of the Year. I just believe, Jake, that, and you made a great point in the Cy Young show, if he would have broke camp with the Pittsburgh Pirates and been the opening day guy, he could have won the Cy Young as well in his first season in the big leagues.
Yeah, if you give him 10 more starts and he does anything close to what he did, I think he wins it over Sale and Wheeler with having incredible years. That's how good this guy is. He's just ready to meet the moment. The guy, nothing seems too big for him when you're talking about playing in those national championship games and delivering time and time again. His routine, he believes in like who he is. He's got this routine. He sticks with it. And you see there, nothing really phases him. He's a very even kill guy. He's got huge stuff, but he's also got the execution and the command that goes along with it. And like you said, that Cy Young Award show, I don't see him not being sitting on that panel. If he's healthy, he's going to be sitting on that panel.
Does he change the way we look at the draft now, or is he such a unicorn? He's so unique that Paul Skeens needs to be in his own special category. To not assume that a #1 overall pick can enter the big leagues and compete at such a high level. He's just that unique from everyone else that we will see being drafted #1 overall going forward.
He is. When you talk about great pitchers, I think about like loving Brady Singer in Florida, and I'm going, this kid's going to do it and dominate, and he is at the big league level, but it takes some time to figure it out. We all kind of go through some struggles to watch this unicorn come right out. And we talk about starting pitching. How hard is it to be a starter in the big leagues? Even harder than ever to go the length and let you do what you're going to do. This guy's ready to be a #1 starter right out of college. Give me a break.
In his second start, he went 6 no-hit innings. I forget that sometimes. Like, if he was 25 years old, he would have been allowed to throw that no-hitter and finish it off. But he wasn't even allowed to do that. That was his second start in the big league. So I felt like Awards Week was the Paul Skeens week in many ways. And then we also have to remind ourselves that we are actually in this blissful moment of having 2 iconic faces of baseball. They have separated themselves from everyone else, including Paul Skeens and Chris Sale and anyone else you want to name. Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, who now have more than one, both have more than one MVP, Ohtani 3, Judge 2. They have become the, without question, faces of our game. And we're in this sweet spot of time now, Jake, where I feel like we could see both of these guys add 2, 3, 4 more MVPs to their resumes before it's all said and done.
Well, I got to go back to the face thing first, because both of them are beautiful people. Didn't they both look great?
Right.
So kudos to that. We've got 2 beautiful faces. But you're right. We're talking about Shohei Ohtani, I think, is going to go down as the best player we've ever seen. Last night, they were like, what's next for Shohei? I go, oh, you got to forget. He's as good of a pitcher, if not the best in the National League when he comes on the scene. So what he's doing, he's going to go down as the best of all time. I don't know any way that doesn't happen if he's healthy throughout this contract. Aaron Judge continually just putting the Yankees on his back and putting up monster numbers here. They're larger than life, literally and figuratively.
And there's a chance we could see them multiple times face off against each other in the World Series. And to your point about Shohei Ohtani, when it's all said and done, will he be known as the greatest player of all time? The record for most MVPs is 7 by Barry Bonds. He already has 3. Why doesn't he have 4? Aaron Judge had to hit 62 home runs, set an American League single-season record in homers to prevent Shohei Ohtani from winning an MVP. So he could have easily had 4 in a row. With him pitching, and I asked him on the show last night, the only thing you don't have, now you have a World Series ring, is a Cy Young.
Oh, it's coming.
Jake, I think he's hell-bent on winning a Cy Young. I really, truly believe that.
Well, and I think that people need to realize that you're exactly right. And why is because he knew he wasn't going to pitch this year and was hell-bent on 50-50 and trained for it and got ready. He was caught 4 times stealing. He wasn't running crazy. He was caught 4 times. Efficiency, there's nothing he can't do. And as somebody who has won a Cy Young, this guy has every bit of I've never seen anybody quite have what he has and the attitude to go along with it. I love him on the mound.
We got 2 superstar players. Welcome back to MLB Tonight, presented by Mattress Firm.
The Dodgers a strike away from a championship, from a proper celebration. Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series! That's it! It's a World Series win for LA! They've done it! They finished the job and give Los Angeles the parade it's been waiting for!
Oh my, world champion!
So here now is my Greg's list. Do you guys mind if I do a Greg's list? So this list is my personal opinion. That is the crux of this Greg's list. Our quest to find out who is number 1 on Greg's list. You guys can hang out with me while we do this. And you are number 1 on Greg's list. This is not breaking news. Winning the World Series can win you some money. Yeah, it's called the World Series share, but it can make you money if you're about to be a free agent. And before the World Series started, because I'm a huge baseball nerd, I sat down and looked at all the free agents that were involved in the Fall Classic, and I was like, okay, before this World Series even starts, here are the years and the amount of money. I'm not going to tell you that as I go through this, but who increased their free agent stock by the way they played in the Fall Classic? This is all based on my own personal criteria. So here now is my Greg list on the 9 guys that increased their free agent stock. 35-year-old reliever Tim Hill. Yeah, he's going to turn 35 in February. He went up 8%. He made 8% more, according to Greg Amsinger, by the way, based on how he performed. 2 2/3, 1 hit. He had guts. He was ready. Tim Hill's going to make more because of the way he played in playoffs. Blake Trinan is 36 years old. He's got a 10% uptick. May I remind you, he's fresh off a 2-year, $9 million deal. I think he gets similar, if not more, before the World Series, probably based on his age, a 1-year deal. I think he's going to get more than that. Blake Trinan uptick because of the Fall Classic. I like Alex Verdugo. You know who else likes Alex Verdugo? Aaron Judge. I think Aaron Judge knows a thing or two about guys he wants standing next to him in the outfield. Great defender, dog at the plate, grounds out at the ABs. He's better than the 647 OPS he posted during the regular season. He's 28 years old, uptick at 15%. Jack Flaherty, he was at 53% before the World Series started. I hate saying this, but his last performance in Game 5 when he got 4 guys out, gave up 2 homers, 4 earned runs, he's only upticked 18% because of the Fall Classic, because people remember Game 1 when he punched out 6 and 5 1/3. Jack Flaherty up 18% because of his performance in the World Series. Juan Soto, I know you're thinking, what, only 20%? When you go in making $600 million, 20%'s a big number. And I think Juan Soto is going to get over $600 million based on how he played. 5 games, OPS over 1,000, homer, hit .313. The Fall Classic made him money, but he's only number 5. Number 4 in front of him, Teoscar Hernandez, up 30%. He hit .350 with a bomb, OPS over 930 in those 5 games. He's 32 years old. He's fresh off that 1-year, $23.5 million deal with the Dodgers. He's going to get more than that. Teoscar, in October, made himself some cha-ching, but he's only number 4. Who's in front of him? Number 3 on Greg's list, Gleyber Torres. Guys whose free agent stock soared thanks to their performance in the World Series. Gleyber Torres up 43%. That homer, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, became a legit leadoff presence. And other teams are recognizing him that way. He's going to be a second baseman, maybe DH, but he can lead off for anybody. Gleyber's number 3 on Greg's list. Number 2, and I only think one team's going to sign him, and it's the Dodgers. Kike Hernandez has to be a Dodger. And he's not going to get a 1-year deal. He's not the 654 OPS in 2024 in the regular season. Maybe he is. Who cares? When it comes to playoff time, this guy balls is going to get a 2-year deal. But number 1 is Walker Buehler. May I remind you, he was 1-6 with a 5.38 ERA in 2024. We were worried if he's healthier now. We felt bad for this 30-year-old right-hander because of how he performed in the World Series. He got his swing and miss back. His free agent stock up 75%. Walker Buehler is number 1 on Greg's list in terms of the largest Fall Classic free agent stock increase. I really believe in just a handful of games, 2 performances for Walker Buehler, he is going to look back and go, wow, that was a lucrative week and a half stretch for me. Jake Peavy, do you agree with that?
Absolutely agree. Look, what have you done for me lately? As a starting pitcher, you're only good as your last time out. His last 2 times out were as good as we've seen Walker Buehler in some time. We're talking about coming off a couple injuries. But Walker Buehler, what I love most, he wants the ball. You see here, the swing and miss is back. That was a slider. There's the fastball. There's the curveball. All 3 are playing for Walker Buehler. All of them are getting swing and miss stuff. That's telling me he's back. Now, do you want this kind of attitude? Do you want a guy who will tell you, yeah, I'll take the ball a day after starting? That's who you want. You start this inning, you talk about him, listening to him talk, he's talking about, I was floating on air, and this is his moment. Look, that's how I'll remember Walker Buehler standing there with his arms open, waiting on the Dodgers. I can't imagine the Dodger fans are going to be too happy when he starts getting offers otherwhere because they're going to be nice.
Yeah, I don't think he goes back to the Dodgers.
I don't think so either because of the money he's going to command.
Yeah, because of that performance in the Fall Classic. That was a fun Greg's List. Was that cool? You liked that, right?
I love Greg's
Trying
List.
to dive into it and who really helped themselves. When we come back, Billy Wagner helped himself throughout his career. I think this will be the year he hears his name called. Wait a minute. Mad Dog's mad about that. He's already screaming, bad job, Greg. Bad job. Details next.